In this video, traders, we're going to look at becoming a profitable trader with a day job, some steps and processes to take if you are running a business or you have a day job. Stay tuned. Hey traders, very warm welcome to you. Okay, so many of you watching this will have a day job, or you'll be running a business, or you'll have other commitments during the working day and you haven't got the time to commit to trading fully all day. And I've talked about this before, and I've said, hey, this makes perfect sense to not quit your job and bring your trading skill up to standard. If eventually that's something you want to do, you can address it. But there's many people out there who are working at a day job, a successful day job, running a business and trading as well. They're combining them both. Great, what a perfect combination if you can make it work like that for you. All right, let's have a look then how you would do it if you have that commitment from say 9 to 5, 8 till 6, whatever it may be. The first thing you need to do is you need to jot down how much time you really have. You really have. Listen, I know we're all ultra ambitious and we all want to make as much money as possible and all this kind of stuff. And you really say, hey, I'm going to have a massive amount of hours to dedicate to trading. You've got to be realistic here. You know, if you're coming back and you've got kind of something that needs to be done when you get back from work, and you're going to have to do just standard stuff that just living a day-to-day life involves, you can't allocate that to trading. You need to be very clear and say, hey, I've got an hour here, I've got an hour here, I've got maybe a 4-hour window at the weekend that I can literally have the time to myself. It's when you have pure and uninterrupted quality time. That's the only time that counts. We're not talking about on the sofa with an iPad and doing something else, or ironing a shirt and looking at it. No, you're talking about pure quality time where you're uninterrupted, the door to your office is locked, whatever it may be, or you're going out to somewhere and you're just not being disturbed, you've got your laptop, you've got your screens, whatever it may be. You get the point. It's got to be that time. So then allocate all that time in the week that you've got and say, okay, these are the time. Now you need to chop that in half. You need to say, hey, okay, I've set up 5 hours, blah, 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 here and there, I've got 10 hours in total. You need to chop that in half, because what you don't want to be doing is it to become too much of a burden immediately. Hey, you can always increase it, right? The point is start small, start the commitment and say, hey, I'm going to put in 5 hours a week, whatever it may be. I can have an hour here, a 3-hour chunk here to studying the art and craft of trading. Then you know you've got to do those solid 5 hours, and you're going to stick to the promise you've made yourself, which is another big thing that lots of kind of self-help people talk about as well. And traders, sticking to the promise is good for build that discipline muscle. If you say you're going to do something, you do it, especially to yourself. You say you're going to put in those 5 hours. So start off with that small amount is what I'm saying. If you feel like you can build it up and add bits and pieces here, then by all means do it. But don't bite off more than you can chew initially. I know it's so tempting to, and most of us are very, aggressive for success and all this kind of stuff and want to just get at it straight away. But in my experience, and I've seen this from other guys who are properly playing this game at a high level, that's the way they'll do it. Then they'll build up to real monster level of commitment. So how much time do you really have? Jot it down and stick to it, and allocate the calendar in the week of when you're going to do it. And if you have to involve your family in that decision, then do so and say, hey, this is the time I'm allocating to studying, as if you were going to night school to learn, whatever else course it may be. You're going to study something and do a degree or do some sort of other course. You'd have to allocate time to it. So this is exactly the same thing. You're allocating time to this craft. Okay. Number 2, what specific times can you devote to study? Okay, I've kind of wrapped these all together. I've talked about how much time. So really, yeah, these are pretty much the same. You're looking at how much time in total, and then I jumped ahead of it a bit, but then you're allocating your time specifically in your calendar, and again, involving other people if needed. All right, number 3, join a community. Now, this is something that I think a lot of traders can benefit from. It's not an immediate obvious ROI from it. I get it. You don't just say, well, if I do that, I'm immediately going to become a profitable trader. But, I run, a bit of a shameless plug here, I run a kind of free traders meet for traders in UK, Manchester, where I'm based. And, everyone who comes just shares stuff different. They've got different kind of, different levels of success and experience. And it's just good. And the general thing is people come because they just like to speak to other traders, because your friends who aren't traders don't get it. Your family don't really get it. It's nice to be able to just get out of the house, just to get there and just talk to other people, because it's very easy to be isolated and you're just getting information coming through the screens as opposed to that. So this doesn't appear like an obvious thing to do, but it is, because you can speak to somebody and say, hey, I'm struggling with this. Oh, me too, me too, me too. All of a sudden, everyone's then chiming on how they overcome it, and you don't feel like it's just you. It's a great way of doing stuff. So wherever you are in the world watching this, go onto Meetup, go onto whatever it is, and just find someone, or create your own. Put your own ad out there, put your own, get in contact with people, go on a bulletin board, say, hey, I'm creating a meetup in a bar, in a coffee shop, wherever it may be, in an office, whatever it is, do you want to come? And just start the community or join one. That will help you loads, especially if you've got a day job and you're learning and you're going along the journey of trading. All right, what we've got here, next one, create a study plan. So now we've got a structure in terms of the time we can allocate. Very, very important. The times, the actual segment in the calendar we're going to allocate. We've potentially joined a community of other traders so we can share ideas and thoughts and get different kind of seeds planted in the mind. Creating a study plan. Now this is really where we say, okay, what are we going to study now? And the easiest thing to say is, what are we not going to study? What are we not going to study? Hey, I'm not going to study fundamental trading. I'm not going to study investing. I'm not going to study volatile markets. I'm not going to study this, and kind of narrow your focus. And if you've watched any of my videos, guys, you're going to know that I've talked about this loads. And you want to bring your focus in, something that I do, and I know that many decent traders who are operating at a seriously high level as well do, bringing their focus into a very small window of opportunity. So you're creating your study plan. Are you going to study? That includes everything, like what markets you're going to trade, what strategies you're going to trade, all this kind of stuff. And I guess we can probably wrap those into one. We may as well, rather than talking about them separately. It's all the same thing. It's bringing that boundaries in. Develop a trading style filter. So what are you going to trade? So the point is you're narrowing stuff down. All this is narrowing stuff down. I could stand there and talk about it, but you can see what I'm trying to do here. We're trying to say, hey, this is the time I can allocate. These are the sections I can allocate. This is exactly what I'm going to study. I'm going to study this market. I'm going to study this time frame. I'm going to study how to trade this strategy, how to do this, how to do that. I'm going to become a specialist at that. And then when I'm ready to pull the trigger and start trading live money, I'll know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm not just going to go in like a headless chicken. I'm going to know, hey, I've got experience with this strategy. I've experience with this market. I've been studying it. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to go. I've got a plan of action. I'm now going to create a trading plan, all the other things that come after this. But this is the kind of fundamentals. Unfortunately, guys, too many people just plow in. Like, hey, I'm going to become a trader, crack open an account, get straight in there, get a work, or a break or whatever, open up a laptop and start just punting away on stuff. And of course, you're going to lose money that way. You've got no structure. You're just trading from the inner kind of chimp, as we like to call it. And that's never going to become a profitable trade. You're never going to become a profitable trader like that. It's just never going to happen. You have to have that structure, clarity, focus, and put in the effort so that you can eventually say, hey, I can see some opportunity now. Let me start to allocate some capital to this. Let me start to kind of work my way off. But it's just getting that initial traction. You spin your wheels. But if you've got a plan, you know where you're going to go, this will help you loads. And, very, very common, guys, what I talk about is just bringing stuff in. Just bring stuff in. Get rid of more noise. Focus on one thing. If you feel like you're far too focused, then that's the right thing. If you feel like you're missing opportunity, then you're on the right path. If you kind of focus on something and you see gold or this or that other, and you think, I feel like I'm missing opportunity, that's good. You need to stick at what you're doing, because then we can become an expert, and then you can start to add these other things in later on. So anyway, if you're profitable, that's the way to become a successful trader, hopefully a profitable trader. If you've got a day job, take these steps. Let me know how you get on in the comment section below. Always interested to hear how you guys are doing out there. Hey, thumbs up if you like this kind of stuff, much appreciated. And if you haven't yet, click on the old subscribe button for more videos from me and other traders on the channel. And if you really want to, notification bell just there, ding, you'll get alerted every time a new video gets uploaded. All right, guys, take care. See you in the next one. Goodbye.